What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Rel, back with another video. Today I'm gonna give you my opinion on the pros of going to college as a graphic designer, so stay tuned to check it out. Peace. What up, y'all? Thank you for coming back. If you're new, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you for joining the family. My guy, financially savvy parent, inspired this video. This comment right here made me think about the whole pros and cons of going to college and if you really need it in 2022 going forward. Let's get into it. Pro number one, finding yourself. Now, all of this is going to be in my opinion and in my experience, but college forced me to push my boundaries. And I don't mean as an artist, I just mean in general. My first year in college, I was like 50 minutes away from my home. I was living in Wichita, Kansas, and my first year in college was in Pratt, Kansas. When I went to Pratt, I was introduced to graphic design. Before I got there, I never knew anything about it. This is my first design right here, this Duke poster. I was a big Duke fan back then. Going to school, it pushed my boundaries. It taught me how to try something new, and I instantly fell in love with graphic design. I became obsessed with it. Back then, Photoshop was like $700. Illustrator was another $7. I bootlegged them. Don't ask me how, that's illegal. But I bootlegged my copies, and it just forced me to get out of my comfort zone. Back then, all I knew was about drawing and painting. I never knew there was a whole nother side to digital creating and creating posters, flyers, banners, business cards, t-shirts, you know, stuff like that. I never knew anything like that. So that was definitely a pro for me. Just learning about the industry in general, you know, it pushed me to fall in love with it and learn new things and just finding my passion with graphic design. Since 2006 till today, I've designed every day since then. I've never looked back. So for me, that's a pro. Another pro for college, it forced me to see things differently. It forced me to, you know, not only step out my boundaries, but to meet people of different walks of life. And I'm still friends with a lot of these people I went to Pratt with. So meeting people from Miami, meeting people from Texas, Tennessee, you know, Alabama, like just meeting all these different walks of people, it made me see things differently. It made me expand my horizon. So for me, that right there is a pro in itself, because it's made me a better designer, more well-rounded, and being able to work with people from different walks of life, stuff like that. So I think that was a pro. College helped me find myself. It also helped me find a lot of great people, a lot of people that have changed the way I view things, and they changed my life just in general. College also taught me accountability. I'm paying to go to school there. So if I'm late for class, if I didn't miss class, if I didn't just been lazy and didn't feel like going, because they're not going to force you to go. They'll just drop you from the class. They ain't gonna call your parents. They, like high school, they'll probably call your parents, middle school, something like that. They're not gonna do that in college. You're paying to go here. So if you don't show up, that's on you. Like in high school, I didn't miss one day that my parents didn't know about. I was always in school. I didn't ditch but one time, and that was the last day of school. And I felt like I'm graduated, I'm out of here. High school didn't teach me accountability, but college, it definitely did. Because when I started sleeping in and missing class and kicking it and partying and chilling with the bros and staying up all night playing NBA Live 06, I am old, I'm washed.
You 36!
Oh my God, I'm old, but playing Live 06 on the PS2 and then camping out for the Xbox 360, those experiences, I wouldn't miss those for anything. That was so dope to just drive from Pratt to Kansas with my guys, and we go camp out for an Xbox 360. We didn't even get it, you know, like, and driving around, seeing people camping out for them, and, you know, and us going on road trips that my parents didn't know about, driving from Pratt to Lawrence, Kansas, KU, and those experiences and just that stuff like that, man, that was amazing. College, aside from accountability and showing up and knowing that I gotta pay for these classes, it taught me organization. When you run a business, you gotta be organized. You gotta have a set plan. You gotta know exactly what you're doing. You can't be wasting money on stuff like that. College taught me about all that. When I was in school, my parents sent me money, but for the most part, I was on my own. I had to figure it out. Because back then, there was no Cash App. There was no PayPal that I know about. They could send you money orders, which Western Union, but Western Union, if they're gonna send you 100, Western Union gonna take like $15. So what's the point, you know? So I had to lean on my friends a lot. We leaned on each other. We would take each other to the grocery store. We would, you know, put money together and get food together. And it taught me to be organized, because if I ain't got no food, I'm gonna be hungry as hell until they open up the lunchroom. And if you ain't got no money for the lunchroom, you just broke. You just assed out. It taught me to be organized, and those things that I learned back then I still use today in my business. Having to stand up in front of a class and tell them about my life story and hating every second of it. I hated public speaking, but now I'm speaking in front of a camera and I'm speaking to the public. So things that I hated back then, They help me build a foundation for today. So those are definitely pros for me. Independence. If you ain't got a support system, you got to learn how to be independent and learn how to hold your own and learn how to just do things on your own and go places by yourself and not needing a crowd of people, not needing a group of people. Yes, I have friends in college, but I'm a loner at heart. I'll spend days on end in the house just working and not saying a word, just grinding on my business, grinding on my goals. So college taught me how to deal with that. College taught me how to just be okay with being by myself. And when I transferred to Middle Tennessee State in 2008, that was a 13-hour drive by myself. I had a lot of time to just think and to just, I'm moving across the country, essentially from Kansas to Tennessee. I was just 21, trying to hoop, and just trying to figure it out. And I was by myself until I met new people. But for the first 3 months, I was just on my own and touring the city, going to Nashville, doing all these things by myself. And it built the foundation for today when I travel to different cities and I'm a solo traveler. I went to San Diego by myself. San Diego is absolutely fucking beautiful. It let me know that it's okay to do things by myself, be on my own and be independent. And I've always had that spirit in my body since I was young. I've always been independent spirited, but it just built on that foundation. It built on that attribute of mine. So another pro, experiences as a graphic designer that you learn in school, like little tricks of the trade that'll help you. So a lot of my teachers taught us where to find inspiration. They help you hone in on picking apart other people's artwork in a good way, so that not only can you critique it, but you can take something from it without stealing from it. These skills are what I use today. Like when we put these mood boards together, design these logos, these websites and stuff like that, I'm looking for something that maybe someone else doesn't see. College taught me how to find inspiration and how to use it in my favor. They taught me how to interview for jobs. Man, listen, I feel like I've always been marketable. I've always had a clear way of speaking, but there's certain things that they tell you, what to wear, what colors might set off something in one of your interviewers' mind to make them want to hire you, to be likable. Not only do they help us interview for jobs, but they would even be co-signers for us. Like they gave us good credit in a way that, oh, this person? Yeah, I know him. Okay, yeah, he was my teacher over here at Oklahoma Christian, over here at Middle Tennessee State, over here at Pratt, and you pretty much got the job just based on the teacher you had. Because they're all connected, they all know each other, and it was crazy for me. Like I was like, damn, that is insane. I'd be halfway across the country and they'd see my resume and I'd get the job just based on who I knew. And it was my teachers, so not only do they help you interview, but the networking was crazy. Another pro was I got an internship at Staple Gun advertising agency here in Oklahoma City. This is when I was at Oklahoma Christian. That was so dope. It sparked my brain to want to have my own agency, want to have my own way of doing things. I didn't end up getting a job at Staple Gun. They really didn't have any openings for any graphic designers, but to me it was just dope to see like a whole environment of creatives. Everybody had their own desk. It was like an open space full of just creatives, and I thought that was my dream job back then, like something like that where you dress up, show up, you do your job, you look clean, and you work on big projects. I don't think they're open anymore. I think they're closed. I'm not quite sure. I did Google it yesterday and it said temporarily closed, which to me that just means permanent, because a lot of companies closed during COVID and never reopened, and it still says temporary, which that was like 2 years ago. It's over, right? Shout out to Staple Gun. That was dope. Thank you for the experience. Also, having college on your resume, which is an outdated way of thinking in my opinion, but it is a pro. It boosts your earning potential, because when people see you went to college, they automatically think you're polished, you're ready to go. It's kind of like NBA draft, where you go to school for 1 year, one and done, and you out of there. They go off of your potential. They think that you might be a valuable asset just, again, based on who you knew, what you learned in school, and what your portfolio looks like, your skills, all of that. They know that you're polished. A lot of graphic designers can design, but they can't tell you how they got to that point. A lot of design work is being able to tell people how you got to that point, what was your process on getting there. Instead of just going from point A to point Z, you need to be able to explain the whole process, and a lot of people can't do that, myself included. Sometimes I just be working, I'll just pop up and be like, here. But that's why I ended up working for myself, because I hate explaining my process to people. Like, as long as I got the work done, it shouldn't matter. But a lot of jobs want to know if you're copying somebody else's work. That's what the whole explaining your process is about. Another pro is expert feedback. Your college professors, they can critique your work. They can tell you where you messed up at. They can tell you what looks good and what looks wrong. They can tell you what certain jobs are looking for, what other universities are looking for, what you need to be doing to get these jobs, to get accepted into these universities, you know, stuff like that. So expert feedback is definitely important if you're looking to stay in that realm. If you're looking to expand your knowledge on the field that you're going to school in graphic design. When I went to school, I got critiqued a lot. I got critiqued a fucking lot. They was on my head, bro, and I hated it. Like, I'm not against being critiqued. However, I'm against feeling like somebody's riding me. And I always felt like they were riding me. It actually helped me because when you're working with clients and they keep sending back changes, you need to be able to take a step back and not take it personally. This is their vision. This is what they want. It is what it is. Has nothing to do with you. Okay? So be able to separate yourself from the artwork. And for a long time, that was my hardest thing to do because I put my soul into everything that I create. So as an artist, you got to take that part out of it. I think that's what they're trying to do, is just critique you to the point to where you take a step back, you take your soul, your feelings out of your artwork and just create, which in a sense makes you feel like a robot, but who knows. The last pro, networking. Again, this is a whole theme. Who you know can make you a whole bunch of fucking money. It can make or break your business. We are not all in a bubble. We're not all in a vacuum. We need each other in order to grow. You can't be a rogue designer thinking you about to make money. I've made way more money through referrals than I have from people finding me on Google. It is what it is, okay? So network. If you're in college or you want to go to college, anything like that, be sure while you're there to network, to meet as much people as you can, to build your group of creatives, and they'll make you a shit ton of money, I promise you. But before we get up out of here, guys, I wanted to say a lot of these experiences, you can have them by just living life. You know, this is just the way I learned them. I do think there is a positive by going to college, but I also see the downside and the cons, and that video will be dropping on Saturday. So be ready, because it's a lot it's a lot of cons about going to college, man. But I don't blame anybody for going. However, in my opinion, I could have learned a lot of this shit on my own, but I don't regret the people I met. That's the end of the video. If you got something from it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all joining the journey, joining the team. Y'all have a great day. Peace.